Welcome to Borishal Cadet College and good morning to you all. Hope you all are fine at your home. Dear cadets, you have to follow the preventive tips for your safety. Firstly, wash hands with water and soap or sanitizer at least 20 seconds. Avoid contact with sick people. Don't touch eyes, nose or mouth with unwashed hands. Don't eat raw food. Thoroughly cook meat and eggs. Avoid contact with animals and animal product. Due to corona pandemic, our regular classes are not taking place. So now I am here to take your class virtually. I am Abu Said, lecturer, Department of Mathematics, Borishal Cadet College. In this class, I am going to discuss measure of dispersion from chapter 10a of your book. Learning outcome. After the class, you will be able to explain measure of dispersion data, determine mean deviation, determine standard deviation and variance for classified and unclassified data. Range. In this case, for classified data, in this case, the difference between the upper limit and the maximum class and the lower limit of the minimum class is called range. Therefore, range is equal to H minus L. That means upper limit of the maximum class is minus lower limit of the minimum class L. Now, uses of range. Range is of limited use as a measure of dispersion in some special cases because it is reflect information about extreme values but not necessarily about typical values. Range is used in the industrial field to control the quality of the manufactured products. It is used to describe price, decrease, increase, measurement of stock markets, used for providing weather forecast, used for calculating interest rates. Now, mean deviation. The mean deviation is the arithmetic mean of the absolute value of the deviation from arithmetic mean or median or mode. So mean deviation is the arithmetic mean of the absolute values of the deviation from arithmetic mean or median or mode. That means the sum of the difference between each number and the mean in the set of data values divided by the total number of data values is called mean deviation. It is measured the average deviation from the mean or median or mode. Formula for calculating the deviation in case of classified or non-classified data values. Mean deviation determined from the central values. For non-classified data, mean deviation from mean m dx bar is equal to 1 by n summation I is equal to 1 to n modulus xi minus x bar. For classified data, m1 by n summation I is equal to 1 to n fi modulus of xi minus x bar. We use this formula when solve classified data related math, and we also use this formula when given non-classified data. Here n means sum of the frequency and x bar means arithmetic mean. That means sum of total number divided the numbers. Now, application of the mean deviation. Application of mean deviation is restricted in the field statistics in the real life. Some of those are described below. Mean deviation is useful for determining the measure of dispersion when the variable of the variables are met. Moreover, it is used to perform the economical and commercial forecast. Mean deviation is often used in the field of social science because it is understandable characteristics. Now let us try to solve some questions using formula. Here, mark obtained in 7 subjects by the student are as follows: 65, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 96. Determine the mean deviation and explain the result. Here given data is now solution. Number of the data here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So n is equal to 7. And arithmetic mean x bar is equal to 83. Here total number, sum of the numbers divided number of the data. That means 65 plus 70 plus 80 plus 85 plus 90 plus 95 plus 96 divided 7 is equal to 83. And the median is m is equal to 85, because here given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 data. Here 85 is the median because this is 3 and also here is 3 that are given. Table for mean deviation is as follows. Now let xi is equal to 65, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 96. This is our given data. And modulus of xi minus x bar is equal to x bar. Here we calculate x bar is equal to 83. Now 83 minus 65 is equal to 18. Now 83 minus 70, that means 13. 83 minus 80, that means 3. 83 minus 85, that means 2. In the same way, the data will given data 7, 12, 13. That means 83 minus 96. 96 minus 83, that means 13. Now xi minus m. Xi, that means 65 minus 85, that means 20. 70 minus 85, that means 15. Now 80 minus 85, that means 5. In the same way, we know the data 5, 10, 11, 66. Now from mean deviation determined from the arithmetic mean, we know the formula. Summation modulus of xi minus x bar divided n. Here summation of xi minus x bar is equal to given here the total sum of this data is equal to 68. That's why here we can write summation modulus of xi minus x bar is equal to 68 and n is equal to 7. That means 9.71. We also find mean deviation from median. So from median we know the formula, summation of xi minus m divided n. Here summation of xi minus m is equal to 66. We know this value, and n is equal to 7. Now 66 by 7, that means 9.43. Therefore, obtained marks of the student are in the difference 9.71 from mean 83, and median number is difference 9.43. This is our required answer. Now another question. Obtain marks in higher math second paper of 60 students of the class 12 from USSC College Dhaka is given below. Here marks 50 to 60, the number of students 10, 60 to 70, number of students 15, 70 to 80, number of students 16, 80 to 90, number of students 15, and 90 to 100, number of students 4. Now given this data, now find its mean deviation. Solution, table for mean deviation. Here given marks, these marks are given, and the number of frequency, number of students, that means number of frequency, this data. That's why we can write number of frequency students is equal to Fi. Fi is equal to this data. Now median of the class, that means 60 plus 50 divided 2, that means 55. Now 70 plus 60 divided 6 divided 2, that means 65. In the same way, these data are given. Now multiply Fi Xi, that means these two data are multiplied. So we can write 55 into 10, that means 550. 15 into 65, that means 975. 16 into 75, 1200. 4 into 95, 380. Now modulus of Xi minus X bar. Here arithmetic mean, summation of Fi Xi, that means 4380 divided by n. N means that sum of the frequency. Here sum of the frequency given 60. That's why we can write X bar is equal to 73. Now Xi minus X bar, that means 73 minus 55, that means 18. 73 minus 65, that means 8. 73 minus 75, that means 2. In the same way, we know the data. Now Fi modulus of Xi minus X bar, that means multiply 10 into 18, 180. 15 into 8, that means 120. 16 into 2, that means 32. Now sum of the total numbers of the given numbers, then we can write 600. Now we know from the mean deviation, we know the formula, summation of Fi modulus Xi minus X bar divided n. We know the formula, summation of Fi modulus of Xi minus X bar divided n. Here sum of the numbers is equal to capital N. That's why we know capital N is equal to 60. And also find modulus of Fi modulus of Xi minus X bar. That's why we find this data here. First the Xi, then Fi Xi, then modulus of Xi minus X bar, then Fi into Xi minus modulus of X bar. Then sum of this data is equal to 600. Now putting this value here, then we can write 600 by 60, that means 10. So it would be said that obtained marks are in difference 10 from the main 73. Now standard deviation. This is the most important, standard deviation and variance in this chapter. This is the most important part in this chapter, standard deviation and variance. And it's also important for your exam. The standard deviation is the positive square root of the mean of the square deviation taken from arithmetic mean of the data. The sum of the square of the difference between each number and the mean in a set of data values divided by the total numbers of data values is called variance. The positive square root of variance is called standard deviation. So this line you marked carefully. The positive square root of variance is called standard deviation. Standard deviation. That means we find variance, then also find the square root. It's also called the standard deviation. It is the most important and accurate procedure to determine the measure of dispersion. Standard deviation is also denoted by Greek letter sigma. Here the symbol name sigma. Now application of standard deviation and variance. It is applied in the invention of and attaching of probability deviation such as standard deviation, etc. It is widely used in various types of quantitative research and planning. The measure is used to verify the estimate. As the most reliable process of measure of dispersion, its highest usage is seen in higher statistics, used to compare the dispersion of two or more interactions, used to analyze the time row, used to verify acceptance of the central values as the respective values of the dispersion, representative values here, representative values of the dispersions. Now this is the formula for finding standard deviation and variance. For non-classified data, the standard deviation sigma is equal to root 1 by n summation I is equal to 1 to n xi minus x bar whole square. And for classified data, root 1 by capital N summation of I is equal to 1 to n fi xi minus x bar whole square. And we also use this formula. Standard deviation sigma is equal to root 1 by capital N summation of I is equal to 1 to n fi xi square minus 1 by capital N summation I equal to 1 to n fi xi whole square. Normally, we use this formula when solve standard deviation and variance related problems. Now, find the standard deviation from the flowing frequency. Here given data, height 50 to 56, 54 to 56, number of students 10, 56 to 58, number of students 12, 58 to 60, number of students 20, 60 to 62, number of students 8, 62 to 64, number of students 4, 64 minus 64 to 66, the number of students 2. This is our given data. Now let us find standard deviation from the data. Now table for determining standard deviation. Here class, the given class 54 to 60, 56, 66 to 58, 58 to 60 in the same way. The given data 64 to 66. And the number of students, that means frequency Fi is equal to 10, 12, 20, 8, 4, 2. Now midpoints, that means 56 plus 54 divided 2 is equal to 55. Now 58 plus 56 divided 2, that means 57. In the same way, the given data here. Now multiplying FIXI, that means the two data are multiplying 55 into 10, that means 550, and 12 into 57, that means 684. In the same way, the data are given. Now FIXI is squared. Here FIXI is squared, that means 55 is squared into 10. Also 57 is squared into 12. Then the given data here. Now sum of the data is equal to 192952. Here summation, that means sum of the data. And here also this symbol is used, summation, that means sum of the given data is equal to eto. And capital N means the sum of the frequency. Now we know the formula from standard deviation. Standard deviation sigma is equal to root summation fi xi squared divided n minus summation fi xi divided n whole square. That's why we find the value fi xi and fi xi square. Now putting the value here, a summation of fi xi is equal to this value and summation of fi xi square is equal to this value. Now putting the value here, then we can write this part, and also calculating this, then we can write 2.57. This is our required standard deviation. Now another question. Find the standard deviation, variance, and coefficient of variance of the following frequency distribution. Here given class 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45. And the frequency 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 9, 7, 3. Now we find standard deviation, variance, and coefficient of variance of the following frequency distribution. Here following table is created to solve this problem. Here given class this part, and the given frequency this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 9, 7, 3. Now sum of the frequency is equal to capital N, 49, and the mid value, that means 10 plus 5 divided 2, that means 7.5. In the same way, 15 plus 10 divided 2, that means 12.5. In the same way, we know the data. And xi squared, that means 7.5 squared is equal to 56.25. 12.5 squared, that means 156.25. In the same way, we know the data. Now fi xi, that means multiply these two data, then we can write here 7.5 into 2 is equal to 15, 12.5 into 4, that means 50. In the same way, we write this data. And fi xi squared, that means fi into xi squared, that means 56.25 squared into 2, that means 112.5. In the same way, we write this data. Now summation of fi xi, that means sum of the given data is equal to 1307.5, and sum of the given data is equal to 38956.25. Now we know that the standard deviation sigma is equal to root summation of fi xi square divided n minus summation fi xi divided n whole square. Now putting the value here, then we can write this data, and after calculating this, we can write 795.02 minus 712.02. That means root 83 is equal to 9.11. We know if we square standard deviation, then it becomes variance. That's why you can write sigma square is equal to 9.11 square, that means 83. This is our required variance. Now coefficient of variance, that means sigma divided x bar into 100%. We know x bar, that means arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is equal to summation of fi xi divided n. This data also given here from the table. We know that this data. Now putting the value here, summation of fi xi is equal to 1307.5 and n is equal to 49. That means some x bar is equal to 26.68. Now putting the value here. Here sigma is equal to 9.11 and x bar is equal to 26.68 into 100%. That means 34.15%. This is our required coefficient of variance. If we square standard deviation, then becomes variance. And if we divide standard deviation by mean into 100%, then it becomes coefficient of variance. This is our formula to determine coefficient of variance. Now find the standard deviation and variance of the following data values. Here given data xi is equal to 10, 13, 25, 30, 37, 42, 45, and fi is equal to 3, 7, 8, 15, 10, 5, 2. Now solution. Here given data xi and fi. These data are given. We know summation of figures. Sum of the frequency, that means capital N, is equal to here 50, and fi that means multiply these two data. Here 10 into 3, that means 30. 13 into 7, that means 91. 25 into 8, that means 200. 15 into 30, that means 450. 37 into 10, that means 370. 42 into 5, that means 210. 45 into 2, that means 90. And fi xi square. Now fi xi square is equal to 300, 1183, and also we write this data. Now summation of this data is equal to 46543. We know from the formula variance, sigma square is equal to summation of fi xi square divided capital N minus summation of fi xi by n whole square. Now putting this value here, we know summation of fi xi square is equal to 46543, and also we know n is equal to 50, and summation of fi xi square is equal to 1441 by 50. After calculating this, we can write 100.26. This is our required variance. We know if we square root variance, then it's become standard deviation. That means sigma is equal to root 100.26. That means 10.1. This is our required standard deviation. Now another question. Daily expenditure of 60 students of Holy Cross College are tabulated below. Class interval 40 to 50, and frequency here given 8, and 50 to 60, the frequency 12, 60 to 70, frequency 20, 70 to 80, the frequency 15, 80 to 90, frequency here 5. Then find the mean deviation, standard deviation, and coefficient of variance of this distribution. So first, the mean deviation. For mean deviation, table to calculate mean deviation. Here given data 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, and also given frequency 8, 12, 20, 15, 5. We know the sum of the frequency is equal to capital N, that means 60, and xi, that means mid value, 50 plus 40, that means 90 divided 2, that means 45. 60 plus 50 divided 2, that means 55. In the same way, we can write this term. Now multiply fi xi. Fi means frequency, and xi here given, multiply these two terms. Then we can write 45 into 8, that means 360. 12 into 55, that means 660. Also in the same way, we can write this data. Now modulus of xi minus x bar. We know from main, x bar is equal to summation of fi xi divided of n, that means 64.5. Here x bar means 64.5. X bar minus xi, that means 64.5 minus 45, that means 19.5. 64.5 minus 55, that means 9.5. 64.5 minus 75, that means 10.5. In the same way, we can write these terms. Now multiplying fi into modulus of xi minus x bar, then we can also write these terms. And sum of these terms is equal to, we can write 540. Now we know from main deviation, summation of xi modulus of xi minus x bar divided n. Now putting the value here, summation of fi xi minus x bar is equal to 540, and the n is equal to 60. That means 9. Table, this is our required main. Now table to calculate standard deviation. Here given data for 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, and the given frequency these terms. So midpoints, in the same way we find these midpoints and multiply. Now fi xi is equal to these terms, and fi xi is equal, that means these terms. Then sum of these terms is equal to, we can write 257500. Now we know from the formula of variance is equal to sigma square is equal to summation of fi xi square divided n minus summation of fi xi by n whole square. Now putting this value here, then we can write this term. After calculating this, we can write 131.42. This is our required variance. If we square root this term, then it becomes standard deviation. That's why here we can write standard deviation sigma is equal to root 131.42. That means 11.46. This is our required standard deviation. Also determine the coefficient of variance. We know from the formula sigma by x bar into 100%. That means here sigma is equal to 11.16, and x bar, that means arithmetic mean, is equal to 64.5. Earlier we find this data. That's why again it's need not to find into 100%. That means 17.77%. This is our required coefficient of variance. Now this is your homework. Question number A. To know the difference in heights of the bowlers, the height of the 5 bowlers of Adamji Cantonment College and BCIC College cricket team are given below. Adamji 178 centimeter, 180, 182, 184, 185, and BCIC 60 inches, 65 inches, 70, 71, 72. Find the standard deviation and explain the result. For which set is the is in more difference? Now another question. Find the standard deviation of the numbers 710, 935, 940, 1045, 1070, 1185, 1260, 1305. Now another question. If the obtained marks of the student in class examination are respectively 16, 28, 16, 12, 18, 11, then what are the variance and standard deviation of obtained marks? That's all for today. If you have any query, you can ask that in the comment section. Lastly, I would like to remind you the most important thing. In this critical situation, you must stay home and keep yourself safe. Stay fine. Thank you.